Lions TV, this is the Den Daily, bringing you all the latest gossip, views and transfer news from in and around the Den. Late last night in fact, the news broke around 9:30 PM and I was going to put the video out last night, but it was a little bit late and I'd already done 2 videos yesterday and I'd already been at the Den and I had to be up early for work today, which is where I am now. But as per usual, Busy Bollocks is over an hour early, so what a time to be alive. 9 AM in Hertfordshire. It's not so good for me freezing my tits off in my car, but it's good news for you because you get your video nice and early. I'll get there eventually. The news broke late last night. The article online from London News Online was that Millwall had a bid rejected for 2 players, Zane Fleming and Derby's 20-year-old star, Louie. Sibley. If you haven't already, before we get into this video, there's our YouTube link. You're already on YouTube, so you don't really need that. Check out the Zane Fleming video. That will pop up as well at the end of this video. But let's get into Louie Sibley. When I saw that, I thought, wow, very, very exciting news. And I'm not going to put a downer on it at all. However, I have seen from a few Derby fans on our social media comments, on our posts, that, well, he's shit. You can have him. He's absolutely, you know, he come onto the scene, burst onto it, and he's not done a thing since. But I'm taking nothing other than positives, as I've said from the news, that we could be signing Louie Sibley. We've had a bid rejected. That seems to be a common theme with us. Original bid rejected with a lot of players that we go for. Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? Well, if you want the player, just go and buy him. However, always a club struggling financially to pay money for players, especially in the current times with COVID. So look, we're the original hagglers, aren't we? With the Marvins. We like to go in low and have a little bit of a haggle up and see what we can get him for. Of course, Sibley scored a hat-trick at the Den back in June 2020, and I think that's a lot of things that's caught the eye of Millwall fans. I've just watched the goals back. He was absolutely fantastic that day. Played in a 10, exactly what we're after. Joining in with the front 2, getting beyond. Fantastic goals. 2 of his left, 1 with his right. Close control, in around the box. As I said, not afraid to run beyond. Close control, fantastic. And frightening. Good pace, both feet, everything you're going to look for in a player. He's only 20 years old. Of course, at that time, I've just watched the highlights, as I've said, Wayne Rooney was playing in that match and Philip Cocu was their manager. He could have scored about 6 that day, by the way, looking back at them highlights this morning, as I said. But since then, Derby are a club in turmoil. Rooney's taken over as manager, and you know, maybe he's just not fancy. Maybe for this dogfight that they're in, with the amount of points they've had deducted, maybe they're trying to gather a bit of experience. Looking at Sibley's career, he came through the ranks, local lad from Burton at Derby, and he's played for England as well, under 16, 17, 18 and 19. He's played 55 games for Derby, according to Wikipedia, since turning professional in 2019 and scoring 6 goals. Of course, 3 of them were at the Den that day. So he's come onto the scene like a house on fire. Maybe he's tailed off a little bit. So maybe Gary Rowett's going down the route of, we know he likes to go back to people he's worked with before. He's done it with Benicophobe. He's done it with Scott Malone, Mikael Kieftenbeld, Mason Bennett, of course, a young player that was at Derby, had problems. And then Gary Rowett's tried to revive his career at Millwall. Now, by no means am I saying Louie Sibley's had problems, but for one reason or another, he's not been in and around it at Derby, and I think it's fantastic business. I think it's exactly what we're after. I think he could partner Billy Mitchell brilliantly in that midfield, and he could be the link between Mitchell getting the play going and keeping the ball and building momentum and getting us up the pitch with Bradshaw and Afobe. I think Sibley will sit lovely in that. He's definitely got time to revive his career at 20 years old. So for me, it's a very exciting one. I'm not surprised that Rowett's gone in for him because, as we said, he likes to go back and work with people that he's worked with previously. So Rowett knows what he's capable of. He would have been in and around as manager of Derby, Sibley as a youngster. So he obviously likes what he sees. And I'm sure Millwall fans are excited at the prospect of 20-year-old Louie Sibley potentially coming to the Den. So as I've said, we bid for him. I don't know exactly how much we've bid, but he's a young player, talented. I'm guessing $1 million plus. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you're a Derby fan, because some of you have already been on it, said, yeah, let's get rid of him and get some money through the door for ourselves. What do you think of Sibley? Has he gone off the ball? Has he got the potential to return to his best, which we saw at the Den in June 2020? I'm excited. You know, is he going to be a replacement for Jed Wallace? Although Jed likes to play a little bit more wide right, doesn't he? So I will let you know more news on this one as it pans out. Hopefully, I'll be doing more Den Dailies in my lunch break in the car today. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.